What's happening, Wargamers? Welcome to the meditations for our latest Star Wars Shatterpoint Battle Report. I want to first off thank Shane very much for popping onto the channel. So,
It
yay.
was a joy.
Yeah, thank you very much, Shane. This has been very exciting to not just film with a new guest, but do it at Adepticon on top of all that. And
First game of the week.
yeah, first game of the week. There we go. I've used up all my luck, and I will now flame out of the Challenger event. But anyway, yeah. So Ewoks against Luke and the Bounty Hunters. And I think outside of a couple key interactions, this was a fairly close game.
Yes, definitely.
Fairly close game.
A
And
lot of back and forth, and the end result is ends up here,
yeah,
but that's pretty close.
yeah, like it was pretty close. And I think what happened, like in the first struggle, it came down to a couple really solid activations on my end that really pushed me over the hump there. And then this one, you were saying that you kind of felt like you were kind of trying to pull back a lot of it.
A little bit on the back foot. The killer was the supports being wounded so
Yes.
much.
Yeah. And that's something I found out in my own experience playing the Ewoks. The second the supports kind of go down, they start to really struggle to keep up with things.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened here, unfortunately. Although I will say, almost every activation of yours, aside from that last Paplu one, had really good work.
Yeah, they were pulling off tricks left and right. I think I got work out of everybody. I'm still not quite sure how to evaluate the work I got out of that pair.
Yeah.
Like, I think there was a couple points where the scale made a difference about what I did, but their personal output past that didn't seem great.
Yeah, did they really contribute enough to the game outside of it? And being a secondary that only contributes 5 damage or attack dice is really kind of rough.
And no ranged is
Yeah.
yeah.
I know exactly how you're feeling because that's kind of been my impression of 3PO and R2 as well, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But I want to say, like, outside of like Logray walking up, having a great first activation, then taking a nap for the rest of the game, you had some really strong actions there. We saw some great plays, like Leia walking over here, just murking Cad for 2 points and taking a whole bunch of points. Like, that was awesome. That was great. Your Hunters walking up here, stealing this point from me, forcing Django to basically hang out back here all game. Like, you had some really cool, solid plays, very inventive stuff, and it was very exciting to see that. That was really good. I like the Leia play a lot.
Yeah, pulling her over there to do that, I'm very happy with how that worked out.
Yeah, just in general, I think the Leia play was incredibly impressive. I want to point out the attrition in this game as well. I think on your side, everyone but Logray and 3PO. No, I guess Leia didn't have a wound token on her, but she was close.
But everybody else had enough to spread it out between everybody.
Yeah, and even on my side, you put a wound token on all of my guys except for Luke and Django.
Nice, yeah.
So you were putting the hurt out yourself.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, if it wasn't for the fact that I had a couple attacks where my defense rolls just pulled my butt right out of the fire, like at the very end there, my bounty hunter's just like, there's 4 successes. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Well, Paplu had his version of that too, so
Paplu did.
I feel like we had some fairness there.
Standing up to these Ewoks are good at standing up to the Skywalker family. There's been a whole bunch of instances like that. Like a couple games back where my Chirpa was just standing up to Anakin.
Yeah.
Like 2 double swings into Chirpa and it's like 2 damage. That's it. That's all I'm all for it. It was great.
Yeah. They can throw out a surprising number of dice. Like, even without Chirpa, which is arguably their aggressive damage focused primary, because he gives the extra attack dice. I didn't have him and I'm still throwing out all this dice, throwing out all these wounds.
I have personally found I really like Chirpa in the Ewok squad because he benefits whenever one of your Ewoks goes down.
Yeah.
You're rolling the die and you're seeing what he's doing. He's either dashing all over the place, hitting people with his stick or something like that. And Chirpa's a little murder machine. So yes. I love Chirpa for that.
Yeah. No, my only thing for him, and I've only played him in 1 game, but it was just I had a hard time getting use out of him because he wasn't moving up separately, right? So bad draws at wrong time, he was kind of stuck in a bad part of my board.
That is fair. He pairs well with anyone who can sort of move him up the board a little bit more, which is really nice. Like, the downside, because Logray went down so fast, unfortunately, you weren't even getting his defensive die as well, right? And there's quite a few instances where that extra defensive die could have actually made a big difference for you.
Definitely, yeah. I think that was, as much as that got me the point at the time, I think it was not the best play to throw him up so far so fast.
I saw what you were doing though. Like you wanted him in a position where his aura would be a lot more beneficial.
Yeah. But like maybe down here, so he's got some line of sight protection ish from people and stuff.
Well,
Or
remember it was Lando and R2 that came up and just gave him like
yeah,
a beating, right? And then they take a beating from Leia and then didn't do anything for the rest of the game. We had very similar parallels with our
yeah.
R2 units on this one.
Oh yeah. Okay. So based on what we saw play out here, who's the real Leia?
Uh, well, here's the thing. Bausch didn't really do a whole lot of anything, so I think your Leia is definitely the real Leia there.
Okay. But
I
she like securing that back point and everything though. Like I think that's one of the deceptive things about Shatterpoint. Maybe that even if they don't seem to be doing a lot in terms of dice or abilities. She had that really great play with the reposition tactic to be able to dump herself back there.
Yeah, and because it was a reposition, like that
Exactly.
that was huge. Because I
Yeah.
think because she was engaged with 3PO, so otherwise would have been a dash if it was just an advance.
Yeah,
But
calling that play out on your side was great. I think it makes it seem like she didn't have a lot, but that was a huge thing.
the big thing I've noticed about this game is actually learning to tell when to be aggressive and when not.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my monkey brain is always like roll dice, hit things,
Dice.
hit
Yeah.
things with a stick.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I like Ewoks, hit things with stick.
Yep.
But as I've been playing more of the game and as I've been learning, it's like, okay, well, now is not the time to actually be aggressive.
Right.
There's other things you can do with this character. I've been finding my own experience has been a lot stronger with it,
Right.
both
Yeah.
enjoyment wise and behavior wise. And then it's just a matter of making sure I get my triggers and remembering
Yes.
the timing on all things, right?
Yeah.
So
But yeah, we were talking a little off camera there too. I forgot several coordinated fires from people, so please don't yell at me, people. I understand I missed them.
be nice to them. The filming on camera does funny things to
Yeah.
people. Like
Yeah.
it's you miss things that you would normally catch in a casual game. I know full well. I mean, I do this a lot, and I still miss triggers
Yeah.
all the time. How many times did I miss Cad's trigger?
Yeah.
And then I finally remembered it, and I put him in the position like, well, take two. So yeah, it happens. But you know what? You did a really great job. I think you played a really solid game. And honestly, if it weren't for the fact that we are geographically separated by quite
Yeah.
a big difference, roughly 6 hours, I would love to actually like
Yeah, get
do
some
more
more.
games with you. But who knows? We are in the same country, same
Yep.
province, 6 hours away. God, Ontario is big. But yeah, well, I would definitely love to get more games with you. And do you have anything you want to add? Any final thoughts?
No, just thank you for the opportunity to jump on the channel with you and get a game in. I've watched your stuff for a while, and nice to actually be able to get the game.
Well, you see, if you sucked up to me before,
Yeah.
you could have won. That's how this works, right? But no, Shane, thank you so much for coming on the channel and filming this with me. This was a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to seeing if we can get some more pickup games over the course of this week and everything like that.
Make our way to one of the tournaments in between ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see what happens. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave your comments below. Remember, you can support the channel through Patreon at patreon.com/AegisBrandStudios, or you can hit up iWarGame, save yourself 10% on one of these wonderful pre-marked maps using code AegisBrand. We will see you next time. Happy wargaming.